Hi everyone, welcome to Anaheim Park Tourist. I am Jim and this is Crystal, and this is our overnight experience staying at the Del Sol Inn in Anaheim. The Del Sol Inn is located at 1604 South Harbor Boulevard in Anaheim. It is about a 0.4 of a mile walk or 644 meters to the gates of Disneyland, and depending on your pace, it may take you 5 to 7 minutes to walk to those gates. We booked a 2-queen bunk bed room and we paid $283 per night plus tax. Tax was about $50 a night. It came out to about $332 per night. At the time of filming, parking is $28 plus tax per night, and it is valet only.
Up next is staff and service. They did call us the day of our reservation to double check with us what time we would be arriving at the hotel. Check-in was nice, not overly friendly, but nice. Anyone we saw from housekeeping was very friendly and would always say good morning to us.
That brings us over to property conditions, and the rooms look like they were renovated in the last few years. We do not know the exact date of the renovation. The rooms themselves were clean. There was no dust on high surfaces or anywhere else throughout the room. There was no hair or anything around the bathroom. Overall, we were happy with the room. This is only a 2-story motel and there is no elevator on site. So if you do need a ground floor room, make sure you call the front desk ahead of time, make that special request. But as always, special requests are never guaranteed. Parking is very tight at this hotel. One of the reasons why this is one of the last hotels we stayed at across the street on the harbor entrance is because of the parking situation. And we were never really thrilled about parking our own car here. We decided when we fly to the area, we'd go ahead and book this hotel. And we're gonna insert a clip here on one of the busiest nights. And this hotel is just utterly packed full of cars. And it is, once again, valet only. And that does make it difficult if you do like to leave the hotel, say in the middle of the night to go get some food or snacks. And your car's buried in the very back of the hotel, it'd make it near impossible to get your car out. Valet is only there from 6 a.m. to 12 a.m. So do make those arrangements ahead of time if you are planning to leave very early in the morning, so you are not waiting for valet to unbury your car from the mess.
Up next is room comfort and noise, and the first thing I'm going to go over is the bunk bed. And so right away we noticed that the bottom bunk had a much thicker mattress than the top bunk. So if you are adults in this room, I would suggest the adults sleep on the bottom bunk to have the thicker mattress. Another thing we noticed with the bunk beds was the fitted sheet was on the mattress, but the flat sheet and the blanket were folded nicely on top. So we just had to make up one of the beds for one of our kids and put that flat sheet and blanket on for him. Up next is the bathroom, and we really love when hotels have the sink separate from the tub, shower, and toilet, and that's exactly how this bathroom was. We like that because it makes getting ready in the morning quicker. Someone can be in the shower while another person's brushing their teeth, putting on their sunscreen, putting on their makeup, using that sink and mirror area, and it just makes it a lot quicker than having everything all in one room and only one person being in there at a time. The beds here were decently comfortable. We slept really well while at this hotel, and actually I really liked the pillows, and I'm very picky about pillows, so that was a nice surprise. Moving on to the closet area. The closet was kind of strange. It was really long and narrow, and the way they placed the safe into the closet, it made it really not a usable space. Like, you couldn't really fit a stroller in there or anything like that. You could fit extra luggage in there if need be. And that leads us into the next biggest issue that we had with this room, which was storage. There's only 3 small drawers under the bunk bed. Other than that, there's no dresser or anywhere else to store your clothing. So you would need to hang with limited amount of hangers things in the closet, or use the one luggage rack that they did have in the room. And so what we ended up doing, and we're only a family of 4, was we used the one luggage rack, we used the desk for luggage, and then we used the top bunk bed for our kids' luggage. And we could see this being more of an issue if you are a family of 6 and you are going to be using all of the beds in this room. So we would consider, if you can, maybe condensing your luggage into 2 or 3 bags instead of 6 separate carry-on bags, and that way you'd have a little bit more space in this room. Up next is noise, and just like pretty much any hotel in the Anaheim area, whether it's a hotel or a motel, there's usually noise early in the morning when people are getting ready to go to the park for rope drop at opening. Usually right after fireworks, there's a lot of noise. And then again at park closing, you hear a lot of people in and out of their room, coming back, kids running, people talking. That's typical at any hotel, and that's what we experienced here. We were on the second story, so when people walked by outside of our room, you could hear that, and you could feel, if you were standing, you could feel the floor kind of vibrate from that. And another thing we noticed was when housekeeping walked by with their cleaning carts, that was incredibly loud. It almost sounded like an airplane was flying right over the motel. In all of those instances, I don't remember any noise being especially early or especially late at night, but it just depends on who's staying at the hotel when you are. Because this hotel is so set back from Harbor Boulevard, we actually didn't hear any road noise, and that was really lovely actually. It was one of the quieter motels that we've stayed at in the Anaheim area. Now, our room was right by the pool, and the pool did close at 10 p.m. So if you were trying to go to bed early, if you have an early flight in the morning, that might be an issue with noise. We were there in the colder months, so it really wasn't an issue for us. Overall, we really enjoyed this room, and our only really complaint about the room was just a lack of storage, a lack of places to put our clothing and our luggage.
And that brings us over to amenities. In the room, you do have a microwave and a refrigerator, which is always nice. There is a coffee pot in there. And then down in the lobby, there is also coffee available if you wanna grab and go as you're walking to the park. The pool is small, but it is heated, and there is also a hot tub. Del Sol does have laundry facilities, which you can use if you are staying an extended period of time. There is free Wi-Fi, and then there is a grab-and-go snack shop that is located on site. And in there are a variety of canned and bottled coffees, energy drinks, soft drinks, waters. There's frozen food such as frozen pizza, frozen dinners, burritos, ice cream. And there's a variety of toiletries if you forgot something, first aid stuff, medicine, chips. There's even noodle bowls that you can purchase. So it is really kind of nice if you are snacky or you want to try something a little more inexpensive one night. You can get some microwave food right on site, heat it up in your room, which is always an added plus.
So we did a little research on the most recent reviews of this hotel, and we're going to sum up what we found on Yelp and TripAdvisor. One of the complaints is the parking situation, as we've already mentioned. The parking is very, very tight, and we could see it being an issue. If you need to get your car out and it's buried in the back, it could take quite some time to get it out. This hotel only allows one car per room. If you have another vehicle, you're going to need to park that at the Garden Walk Mall. Another complaint we read was limited housekeeping, and that is kind of a lot of the hotels actually since COVID don't do daily housekeeping. It's just become a norm since COVID, unfortunately. So if you're looking for daily housekeeping, this might not be the place for you. This is a very small hotel, and it is only 2 stories like Jim said, and there is no elevator. So that was another complaint about this room. And like Jim said earlier, if you need a ground floor room, I would definitely call when you make your reservation and make sure they note that. And then I would even call maybe a month before your trip and even a week prior to make sure they know that you need a ground floor room. And of course, noise. A lot of people were complaining about noise at the typical times that I mentioned before, early in the morning, after fireworks, and after park close. And like I said, that's a very common complaint for most hotels in the Anaheim area. If noise is an issue for you, that is why we like to book a suite where you can close a door to the bedroom if possible. It just gives you another layer of sound insulation so people aren't walking right next to your bedroom door.
Who would want to stay at this hotel? We think this is a great option if you want to stay somewhat close to the park, and if you have a larger party. They have rooms that sleep up to 6 people, and the rooms are comfortable and recently renovated.
Let's write a history tonight.